Okay, so first I'd like to address my opponent's voting issue. So her first voting issue was the volume criterion debate. And the reason why she loses volume criterion debate is because first off she's not upholding human rights because environmental protection isn't being upheld. And the reason why we need to uphold environmental protection is because in order to achieve these human rights, like happiness, and in order to preserve our culture, the environment has to be in a good condition. And also on the criterion maximize governmental legitimacy. My point is not maximize governmental legitimacy because it causes major economic decline and economic de-development. And like I said in Fogg 2009 and Morrison 2010, talks specifically about how the neg can actually cause things like Dutch disease. And second, boom bust economies. And the reason why it causes boom bust economies is because it's like depending on extracting a certain resource. And like our only example is Botswana, and like extracting diamonds from Botswana is bad because whenever the resources start to run out, and then since our economy is so dependent on extracting diamonds, and if those resources go to run out, that causes major economic crash because that was the only thing that our economy was running on. The economy is running on the export of diamonds, and then if those just cease to exist because they exported them all, that would cause economic crash. Now on the second voting issue, is neg can only solve for development. The reason why the firm can also solve for development, but not as a fast rate, and the reason why the neg can't, the affirmative, and the way that the firm solves for development is through my third contention. I talked about how we can use things like green growth, although it might not be as rapid of a growth, but it doesn't cause economic crash like the negative does. What the firm is the way the farm develops and the farm is more sustainable because it has things like green growth, and we need green growth in order to preserve the developing countries. Now on to the third voting issue is that she talked about how 22,000 children die, or 22,000 people die a year, and that through resource extraction we can solve for things like poverty, which upholds societal welfare. Like I stated in my second contention, talking about economic crashes, and if the economy were to crash, then the government wouldn't actually be able to focus on decreasing poverty. That would just make it worse. So that could actually increase poverty. Now on to my voting issues. Uh, is that my voting criteria being upheld, and they're the most important around, because societal welfare. First off, societal welfare is being upheld through the protection of the environment, and also the preservation of developing countries being held through the preservation of the environment. Because these developing countries are going to be the future, and if we were to damage these countries' environments now, we won't have anything to depend on later. And then my final voting issue is that the affirmative has the most magnitude because we need the because we're not going to be able to develop this if there's no environment.